Mother-in-law constantly commenting on my body. I'm pregnant and just barely starting to show. Since my in-laws found out, my mother-in-law has been comparing her pregnancy symptoms and body to mine. Even when I'm not around, she asks my significant other if I'm showing yet. I've only just started showing, and in public settings, she said, "You've got a belly," twice in a row in this high-pitched tone. It felt unnecessary, so I just said, "Yeah, that's what happens." The very next day, we saw her again, and during an off-topic conversation with my sister-in-law, mother-in-law randomly said, "She's growing a belly." I replied, "I'm growing a baby, not a belly." I also just told her that just because I'm pregnant doesn't mean it's okay to comment on my body. Give it to me straight, Reddit.
Well, look, even I'm afraid I've been guilty of saying, wow, you're getting a belly, but it's not something I would say all the time.
I also feel like
mean-
you'd say it as in like belly equaling baby.
Baby,
Like,
yeah, I would, yeah.
Whereas
but
the
not-
implication here is that she's getting fat.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
and
well,
not that there's anything wrong with that either, but
No, there's not. But no, I don't. No, that's just wrong to continually do that.
did Nan ever drop you some shady comments when you were pregnant with any of us?
She used to say to me when I used to walk in and I was pregnant, she'd say, "Oh, here's Belly, followed by Jenny." That was one of the things she used to say. And that was every time she seen me, like it wasn't just a one-time thing, but I loved it.
Yeah, like, to be fair, as someone who's not even 5 foot tall and has been pregnant with twins, like that's objectively funny.
Well, yeah, it was. Yeah,
and accurate.
And yeah, I never ever took offense to that, but she was the only one that ever said it. Like, my siblings would probably say, "Oh, gee, Jenny, getting big," but that still didn't worry me.
If anything, that sounds like concern. Like,
Yeah,
girl, you're tiny. Like, we're worried about
it. Was after the birth that I would take offense.
Yeah.
More than while I was pregnant, but that never ever come from any of my family. They never made me feel horrible by any comments that they made after I had babies. The only comment I ever got was from one certain male fathered these babies that would call me horrible names. That person is the only one that ever made me feel really dreadful.
Yeah, sounds accurate.
So, some names that I could never mention, some of the names he used to call me. And a lot of the times I were pregnant.
It's like, well, bro, shouldn't have gotten me pregnant. Like,
So I mean,
it's all on you, my man.
Yes. That's in the past and I won't dredge up my past.
A lot of the comments is basically just like punchy one-liners that she should shoot back in response. She's an asshole. Yeah, I'm growing a baby. That's why my belly's extended. What's your excuse?
Responding to them. Like she's not getting, she's offended. You can tell she's offended, but she's not hurling it back at her.
Yeah.
With abuse.
And
She's just saying, she's just putting
she's got the shits about the right thing too. It's like she doesn't seem to really care about what size she is in general.
Yeah.
It's I can tell you're actively trying to make me feel bad about myself.
Yeah.
And that's what's upsetting me.
Yeah.
That's why are you trying to make me feel bad? Like, why? Like, I remember one of the only comments, like Rebecca never fucking shuts up about everything. She's got to always have a comment all the time, especially when it came to like the pregnancies and stuff. And I'm going to do this and it should be like this and whatever. But that's just her, and I never really took anything about it. But in particular, when I was pregnant with Viridian, my oldest, one of the key comments that stood out then, because I was very pregnant at your wedding, and Viridian's pop visited because he ended up staying with us that night. I did hear him saying that I looked really healthy. And obviously that was bringing up a lot of trauma for him because my son's dad was born with fetal alcohol syndrome. We've discussed that my previous mother-in-law is an addict. And so seeing a big, healthy, pregnant woman to him is a really good thing, a really healing thing for him to see that same son that was born of those circumstances was very obviously having a significantly healthier child to the one that he himself had. That also really helps you put things in perspective when you're having, societally pushed body issues. that when you're at your biggest in those moments, just what that means to some people when it comes to, you know, health and safety, because a lot of people that don't have that end up in a really rough way. It kind of, puts it in perspective of what you should actually be grateful for and what you should be aiming for when it comes to a pregnancy.